what types of preparations do people need to make at this time of year for their soil and for their yards and things like that for this upcoming spring and summer?
Well, as far as March, the only thing that I would recommend for a person is to, depending on what type of crop you're growing, which the first crop will be your cool season vegetables like lettuce and spinach and broccoli. And you don't have to do a whole lot of preparation in the month of March, no more than maybe test your soil to find out what nutrients that are readily available in the soil. Because when you work in soil, in March, especially in March, if we still have snow on the ground, trying to work damp soil really makes more of a problem because it compacts the soil because it's a little more muddy. So when you compact it, you prevent air circulation and water and things of that nature that the root system need for the plant to really thrive. So it's always best to maybe towards the end of March is when you start your cool season vegetables. Also, if you are using from seed, you don't use a pre-emergent, but if you're going to use a transplant, you can use a pre-emergent, because if you use a pre-emergent with another
What's pre-emergent?
A pre-emergent is a seed, is a pesticide that you use to kill weeds.
Okay.
And that stops them before they even germinate, like grassy weeds mainly, not your broadleaf, because you use post-emergence for broadleaf weed control. So that would be the only thing I would say you would use in March, just to do a soil sample, just to find out what nutrients.
No, I was going to ask you, you mentioned the soil sample. How does somebody go about testing their soil? I mean, is there a kit? Do they send it off somewhere?
Yeah, you can send it off to, or call your local extension. You know, we have one right here in Clinton, Maryland. Your local extension place. And what you do is you collect samples in various locations of your yard or your garden, and you kind of like mix it. You don't need a whole lot, maybe a half a sandwich bag full. And then you can Google it and see what university also will take a soil sample, and they only charge you anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks just to tell you what type of nutrients are available for your soil, because sometimes you can have high levels of nitrogen, high levels of phosphorus, potassium, calcium, whatever. It's basically 17 natural nutrients that the soil will give off. Same like in our body. That's how I know we come from the ground.
Okay.
Because we have those same nutrients like the soil.
So is it possible to be like, for your soil to have too much of a nutrient?
Oh yeah.
So how do you balance that back out?
After you have your soil sample, there's several different ways to deal with it. If you have too much nitrogen, or you have too much phosphorus, you can amend it with another type of soil. You can also use lime, which lime takes away raises the pH. You can use sulfur to lower the alkalinity in the soil. It's all based on what nutrient is too much of, and then you will follow.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, now when you send it off for this test, do they come back and give you recommendations?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they
So
give you
they're
recommendations.
not just giving you results and then you're off on your own.
Oh no. But even if you don't understand that, then that's when you call somebody like me who can read it and then bump it right on up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what other, you talked about organic, the word organic. Mm-hmm. And that word organic is thrown around. You go to the grocery store, it's in every aisle. And you talked about the vegetables and things like plants and fruits and vegetables that are in the grocery store are a lot different than what you grow. Off camera, we talked about it a little bit, and you mentioned the way the vegetables and stuff look. Can you go into that just a little bit more? That they're not perfect.
Well, true organic vegetables and fruit aren't going to be cute. I mean, you know, even I grow the best Silver Queen corn in Prince George's County, but there are times when the tops, when you peel it back, worms are already in it, enjoying themselves, and I just may snap the top off, still good to go to eat. Same way with you know, some of the tomatoes. If you don't apply certain fungicides and insecticides, it may not come out perfectly round or something of that nature. You know, you may have certain beetles that will attack your squash and your cucumbers, and definitely certain worms eating holes in your greens and in your cabbage, or a groundhog may bite into the cabbage head, because groundhogs, they love them as well. So all these things are not going to be perfect, but at the same time, the taste, the flavor is there, because when you have those pesticides that are more systemic and dermal, that affects the flavor.
Okay.
As well as it might give you a perfect product.
Perfect looking.
Right, perfect looking, but it's not going to be the best tasting.
Right.
So, you know, my recommendation is to try it without all of the different pesticides.
Okay. Now, with those pesticides, and does that, in your opinion, do you think that those kinds of things affect people's health? With, you know, over the long term by ingesting those things?
Absolutely. I mean, it would be more. I mean, it's not acute, but over a period of time, you know, I mean, it's just like eating fried foods. You know, it leaves those deposits in your arteries. I mean, you don't just eat fried chicken a day and then all of a sudden you need a stent in your heart.
Right. It's over a period of time, and it builds up.
Over a period of time, you keep on depositing that cholesterol in your arteries, and eventually one day it'll be clogged up. So that's the same way, which can lead to birth defects, chronic headaches, and blood deficiencies, all kinds of things like that with the constant use of pesticides. That's why if you're going to grocery shop, wash your food really good. I mean, if you're going to just buy, you know, regular fruits and vegetables from the grocery store, it's good to wash it off really good. And then, of course, cook with vinegar or wash it off. These things really, you know, help to some degree, depending on what type of pesticide that was used.
So why does it, you know, you've talked about that it tastes better, food's better for you, you know, this naturally grown food. Why does it cost so much more?
It costs so much more because it requires more attention. You know, if you have to, like when I mentioned to you earlier about the dust, if the dust washes off every time, we need the rain for our products to grow. But if I'm constantly hiring a crop duster, flying over and over and over every time it rains, I mean, you'll be spending crazy amounts of money. So, you know, apple may be $15, $20 a pound, opposed to, you know, $2 or $3. Well, Honeycrisp is expensive. But,
so are Pink Ladies. So,
yeah, so.
That's my favorite apple, the Pink Lady.
Wow, your Honeycrisp is mine. But, you know, so it costs more to manage, to maintain and manage. You know, when you're looking for every bug, every time it may come on. I mean, like I said, they're constantly looking for something to eat. Just like we have to eat every day, insects have to eat every day.
So where are the best places to go buy, you know, these, you know, organic fruits and vegetables? I mean, I know farmers, you know, in the summertime, you see plenty of farmers around. But in the wintertime, you know, when it's cold outside, where can you go get these things?
Well, you have different farmers markets where they may import. You have farmers markets all around the country. So sometimes they may have to import those products from other farmers markets.
Okay.
And then on top of that, you have the search for farmers market that may have these huge greenhouses, and they may grow certain foods in those greenhouses.
Oh, all year round.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Do you know of any that are local? I mean, like the greenhouses or the farmers markets?
I mean, the only one that I can really say locally is the one on Brown Station Road in Upper Marlboro.
Oh, the farmers market down there.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I by me growing my own stuff in the summertime, and some of it I freeze, and some of it, you can freeze greens and corn and things of that nature. So my diet is strong with that. But other than that, I may just go to the farmer's market.
Now, do you do any canning or anything like that? You know, putting
No.
stuff in mason jars over the winter?
No, I really don't do that. I mean, I do it with my juices that I make, because I do take some of my vegetables and fruits and juice it, and I may put some lemon, or these are some of my little natural preservatives, because preservatives aren't good for you either.
Right.
So I try to be careful with that. I use more natural things like lemon and vinegar.
Lemon and vinegar. Right.
Yeah, to preserve my food. Why you think McDonald's French fries? Everybody's dropped. I shouldn't have said McDonald's. I'm sorry. But anyway, but look, you could take a French fry, and all of us have spilled a French fry
In the car. And come back 6 months later,
and it's still there.
you're down there in the corner seat when you're detailing that car for the summer.
And you're not trying to figure out why it's not molded or whatever.
Right.
Nothing but preservatives. So, and that should give you an idea of the same stuff that's going in you.
Right.
That's not good for you. Those preservatives will get to you. Those sodium nitrates.